Hi, in this video, we will solve example sums on the topic of interest on debentures. Let's go on to the first example sum. Example sum 1. Rex Limited issued 20,000 10% debentures of rupees 100 each on 1st April 2019. The issue was fully subscribed. According to the terms of the issue, interest on debentures is payable half yearly. Pass the necessary journal entries for the interest on debentures for the year ended 31st March 2020, ignoring TDS. Before we begin, we'll make a few notes. The total face value of the debenture is equal to 20,000 debentures multiplied by rupees 100, which is the face value of one debenture, comes up to 20 lakh rupees. The interest for 1 year is equal to 20 lakh rupees multiplied by 10%. The prefix is 10%, so the yearly interest is 10%, comes up to 2 lakh rupees. This is the yearly interest, therefore amount of half yearly interest is equal to rupees 2 lakh divided by 2, or rupees 1 lakh. Let's proceed with the journal entries. Solution. In the books of Rex Limited, journal, we have the date, particulars, LF, debit rupees and credit rupees. The debenture has been issued on 1st April 2019. We need not write the issue entry because the question asks us only for the journal entries for the interest on debentures. The interest is payable half yearly, so the first interest will be paid on 30th September 2019. So that's 30th September 2019. Debenture interest account debit. To debenture holders account. Half yearly interest due 1 lakh rupees. For interest due to debenture holders. Please note, this entry is passed because we are asked to ignore the tax deducted at source. On the same date, 30th September 2019, we need to pay the interest to the debenture holders. Debenture holders account debit to bank account. The amount due is paid off 1 lakh rupees. For interest paid to the debenture holders. The next interest, half yearly interest, is due on 31st March 2020. We'll make the interest due to the debenture holders. Debenture interest account debit to debenture holders account for interest due to the debenture holders. Amount of half yearly interest due is 1 lakh rupees. On the same date, we will make the payment to the debenture holders. Debenture holders account debit to bank account for interest paid to debenture holders. Amount of interest paid 1 lakh rupees. And the final entry at the end of the accounting period, 31st March 2020. Statement of profit and loss, finance cost, to debenture interest account. The full year's interest will be transferred to statement of profit and loss, finance cost. The full year's interest is rupees 2 lakh. For transfer of interest on debentures to statement of profit and loss, at the end of the accounting period. The entries are done. We can view the answer. So that's the example sum on the top, followed by a few notes. The journal, the first screen. And the second screen. Example sum 2. Tory Limited issued 5,000 12% debentures of rupees 100 each on 1st April 2019. The issue was fully subscribed. According to the terms of the issue, interest on debentures is payable half yearly on 30th September and 31st March, and the tax deducted at source is 10%. Pass the necessary journal entries relating to the debenture interest for the year ended 31st March 2020 and the transfer of interest on debentures of the year to statement of profit and loss. We'll begin with a few notes. Total face value of debentures is equal to 5,000 debentures multiplied by rupees 100 face value per debenture, comes up to rupees 5 lakh. The interest per annum is equal to the total face value, which is 5 lakh rupees, multiplied by 12% is the interest rate per annum, comes up to 60,000 rupees. Therefore, half yearly interest is equal to 60,000 rupees, the total year's interest, divided by 2, comes to rupees 30,000 rupees. We'll continue with the journal entries. Solution. In the books of Tory Limited, journal. Date, particulars, LF number, debit rupees and credit rupees. The date 30th September 2019, when the first 6 months interest is due. Debenture, interest account debit, half yearly interest 30,000 rupees to TDS payable account. TDS is 10% of 30,000 rupees, comes up to 3,000 rupees. And 2, debenture holders account, the balancing figure, which is 30,000 minus 3,000 rupees, comes up to 27,000 rupees. Narration for interest and TDS payable. The next entry on the same day, 30/9/2019, we can pass a separate entry for payment to debenture holders as debenture holders account to bank, and separate for TDS payable as TDS payable to bank. Or we can pass a combined journal entry, which is what I am going to do right now. Debenture holders account debit, the amount paid 27,000 rupees. TDS payable account debit, the amount of TDS 3,000 rupees to bank account. Total outflow of cash 30,000 rupees. Narration: interest paid to the debenture holders and TDS deposited with government. You've dealt with the 30th September entries. We will move on to 31st March 2020. Again, we need to make half yearly interest due, debenture interest account debit, half yearly interest amount 30,000 rupees. 2. TDS payable account 10% of 30,000, 3,000 rupees. And 2. Debenture holders account 30,000 rupees minus 3,000 rupees comes up to 27,000 rupees for interest and TDS payable. Next entry is to pay them off. 31/3/2020 debenture holders account debit 27,000 rupees, TDS payable account debit 3,000 rupees to bank account 30,000 rupees outflow of cash for interest paid to debenture holders and TDS deposited with government. The final entry, we need to transfer the entire year's interest to statement of profit and loss. Statement of profit and loss. Finance cost. 2. Debenture interest account. The full year's interest 60,000 rupees. For transfer of debenture interest to statement of profit and loss at the end of the accounting period. The entries are done. We'll view the answer. So that's the example sum 2 on top. The calculation of interest per annum and also the half yearly interest. And these are the journal entries in the books of Tory Limited.